Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. It is Pachuca, Georgia, taking on Kalonji Pro Profile. Larry Weaver alongside Andre Bomar here on ASMG TV. Thank you so much for watching us this evening. We have an interesting makeup match tonight between Pachuca and Kalonji Pro Profile. This is one of these mini makeup matches for Kalonji that we really need to see if they're going to be able to hold on and win the title this season, or if they're going to allow Potros FC to run with the ball and get another title.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those ones where, you know, these makeups sometimes can cause a problem for teams when you get fixture congestion. And so you don't want to look past it if you're Kalonji Pro Profile. Pachuca is a quality side, and it could be that they can be fooled or lulled into looking past them, thinking about, okay, we got 2 games in hand. We can win those 2, and then we'll be in pole position. But if you drop these points, it opens the door for Potros. So it'll be something to see who's going to be serious enough to take this on.
Absolutely. You see the lineups right there for both teams tonight. Keep an eye on Kareem Tamimi and the man of the match, last match for Kalonji Pro Profile, Medard. He really kind of took that game over against UMA. So we'll see if he can continue that style here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a very potent attack again from Kalonji. Of course, you got Kareem Tamimi that's there. But Pachuca's been very solid in their play as well. They've kind of been inconsistent of late. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes out on this midweek game for them.
All right, we'll step away for the opening ceremonies. Opening ceremonies just getting underway, getting ready for this UPSL Georgia match. And take a look at the weather today. It's been raining this afternoon, a little bit of misty right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens on that turf down there on Charlie Jordan Field here at the Shiloh High School campus. 70 degrees, wind is about 11 miles an hour, and it is blowing from the far side to the near side right into our faces here in the press box. We'll see if that does anything for this matchup.
Yeah, it should affect play a little bit. The surface here is in good quality, good drainage underneath, but you do wonder about the footing for some of these players out here if the rain does continue. But it's been a light rain so far, not much of a wind to speak of. But overall, the temperature's good. Overall, good weather for football today.
Give an opportunity to thank our sponsor for today's matchup, Images Frozen in Time. As always, thank you so much for providing coverage here for the UPSL Georgia Conference.
So as always, Larry, I always wonder how these teams will start out. You know, Kalonji is always going to be an attacking team, a team that holds the majority of possession. Pachuca is a good passing team as well. A little bit less experienced, younger team, but a good quality team, well coached.
Pachuca, Georgia, they'll be in the blue and white hoop shirts. They're moving from left to right. Kalonji Pro Profile in their typical white outfits, moving from right to left. It'll be Pachuca that'll get us underway in the first 45. Pachuca is going to be in a 3-5-2 and Kalonji Pro Profile in a 4-3-3. Underway here at Charlie Jordan Field.
Early on there, Larry, it seems like Pachuca put themselves a little bit under pressure by going all the way back to the goalkeeper, but now it's come back the other way.
Sakui had to get that one right because that was coming back right to him between him and Demise, excuse me. That one bounced off of the Pachuca player. It'll go out for a throw.
Yeah, the first few seconds reminds me of the game Luminio had here when they used that high press against Kalonji very successfully so. So it'll be interesting to see if that tactic works for Pachuca if they continue it.
We'll see what Coach Montoya put together for Pachuca, Georgia. So far, Georgia Revolution, the only team to defeat Kalonji Pro Profile this season.
Yeah, second season in a row, as a matter of fact, for Georgia Revolution. And of course, Poltros is the only other team to take points off of Kalonji this season with a draw a few weeks ago, 2-2 draw.
Potros FC, they won their first title ever last spring. They're looking to duplicate it this spring. Playing really well over there in Marietta. And they've got the golden boot leader right now, Nazario Mbamio, coming over from Georgia Athletic.
What a great acquisition he's been for them.
Good movement down here on the side with Medard. That one's going to be knocked out. Will be a throw for Kalonji Pro Profile. Medard's just on a different level all of these last couple days.
Yeah, he's done a great job, particularly last match. Very dominating and attacking play for Kalonji.
Chari coming up and with that throw in, but lose it does Kalonji. Pachuca looking to work down the near line, cut off by Kamani Irving, captain of Kalonji Pro Profile. Tony Tiente able to hold on to possession there, but lose it on the far side, win it right back. Pavlotsky not able to control that ball. Now Pachuca, a little bit of deflection off of Gonzalez, and that'll roll out and will be a goal kick. Pachuca looking to attack very, very early. Starting to get sprinkles coming down here at Charlie Jordan Field. Taken short by Sakui. Comes over here to the near side for Chari. Chari's going to make it up to Medard. Medard holds off the press. He goes down on a foul. check in with the ASMG TV weather booth. Just a little bit of light rain out there right now around the Snellville area. Looks to be passing in the next few minutes. Then we should be in decent form for the remainder of the match.
Yeah, so far it doesn't look like they've been affected at all by the rain that is coming down right now. Game's at a comfortable pace, not too high.
Pavlotsky does not commit the foul. Pachuca still with possession. Porcelli with a nice ball forward, but it gets cut off by Chari. Kalonji holds off the press. Right on the touchline, he's able to get it back to Irving. Irving will go over to his center back compatriot Demise, but his pass, not the best, but the makeup pass there by Pachuca wasn't the best either.
Giveaway.
Ball with Gonzalez, he gives it right away. Both teams a little shaky on the passing in the first 5 minutes. One thing that we noted before pregame, Kalonji Pro Profile went through their entire 45-minute warm-up. Pachuca, Georgia really didn't come out to warm up until about 15 minutes before the match.
Yeah, you know, as a coach, you would think you would worry a little bit about that when you don't have the proper amount of time to warm up.
The only Pachuca, Georgia player that came out and did a full warm-up was the goalkeeper, Cavillo. Everybody else stayed in the locker room until they had no other choice. Now, here's Medard. Medard lays it off, able to get it to White. White is going to take a shot, deflected. Gets to Tiente. Tiente gets a touch on it, gives it to Tamimi. Tamimi cannot control it, but it'll be knocked out. It'll be a throw. Again, no foul.
So far, Larry, it looks like this might be one of those methodical games, more chess-like rather than the quick pace we're used to seeing from both of these teams. A little unorthodox so far.
So far. You look at this Pachuca, Georgia team, 3-3-4, 16 goals scored so far this season. You look at the table right now, Pachuca, they are currently in 9th place. They're only 1 point out of the playoff berth. They are just 1 point behind North Georgia United.
Yeah, so you know that's the urgency for them. Is in order to make the playoffs, they have to have positive results in these last few games because it is so very tight for those playoff spots.
So far, Pachuca, Georgia, with those 10 matches, this is this will be the 10th match for Kalonji Pro Profile. They're currently 7-1-1, but they have scored 39 goals. Significant amount of goals beyond this Pachuca, Georgia team.
Amazing total. Shows the attacking quality that they do have. Of course, this is one of the games in hand that Kalonji Pro Profile is making up.
They'll make up one more next Wednesday here at Charlie Jordan Field.
Yeah, that game next Wednesday is going to be against Albion. It'll be right here at Shiloh, and ASMG will be here.
They'll be on the road this weekend. They'll go up to Riverbend Park to take on North Georgia United. You'll be able to catch that match live on ASMG TV. And then they'll end the season here at home taking on SSLFC in the Kalonji Derby. Tony Tiente wins that ball, gives it to Tamimi. Kalonji gives it to Pavlotsky. He comes over here to Chari and to White. White has some space to move forward. He holds off the attack, but loses possession. Gives it right back, does Povolotsky. And that's one of the things that we have seen this season when it comes to the Kalonji Pro Profile squad. We've seen a lot of movement, a lot of changes in it, you know, with some players having double duties with their MLS Next program, as well as some players like Anthony Sumo, who moved on to the professional ranks in Carolina Core. And unfortunately, we always have to speak about the loss of David Regala in a tragedy just a few weeks ago. So a lot has changed.
Yeah,
and
a lot of change.
You're seeing a completely different squad, you know, that we saw Sunday and today that we've seen in probably the last month.
Well, I think, Larry, too, that's the key. At this level, it presents some special challenges that you don't get at other levels because it's pro development. So your goal is to move these players on, get them to the next level, like an Anthony Sumo. But, you know, being able to move them on and then replace them means that you're looking to have a rather sizable squad. And so, you know, players are coming, going. You have an academy that's going to feed them, and that's what builds your club. But some teams aren't able to construct themselves that way, but Kalonji has been able to do that successfully in the past few seasons.
Chari's able to get it to Kalen Kalonji. He's able to hold off the attack of Ruiz. Get it over to Demise. Demise looking to go long. Trying to get it to Medard. Just a little too long for him. Medard was having trouble locating the ball as it was coming across the pitch.
Yeah, I think the way he was motioning afterwards, he wanted the ball more centrally to run onto it, and I think he was surprised that it went to the left there.
Throw in. Gonzalez goes down but does not earn a foul. Povolotsky has it, gets over that challenge. Getting around another man, hits the brakes. Trying to make a turn, decides to hold on to it, lays it off to Kalen Kalonji. Kalonji's going to take a shot. Good save there by Cavillo. Still in play, he'll get it right back.
First real shot on goal from either team. It's on frame there, but not enough power or trouble to give any issues for the goalkeeper.
Trying to get the ball long to the striker, not able to get there because Demise and Kamani Irving able to hold him off. They win it right back though. Get it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to get it through Chari, not going to be able to do so. Tiente's there. Gives it to Kalonji. White lays it off. Give it right back to Tiente and to Kalen Kalonji. Irving, captain's going to look around. He'll give it over to his center back partner, Demise. Demise will give it to Chari and get it right back. Thought about going to Sekui and chose otherwise. Got it forward to Medard. Medard, he'll go across center circle over to Kalonji. Kalonji will put it forward to Tamimi. Tamimi has a little bit of space to work. Thought about letting it go. Holds on to it. Finally does. Give it to White. White makes the turn. A little bit of hold up. Gives it back to Tamimi. Tamimi, good ball through. Gives it to Medard. Just a little bit over his head and it'll roll out for a throw. Good build up a play there for Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yeah, they're probing a little bit more, trying to connect to Medard. Haven't been able to give him any service just yet, but I think you kind of see the plan that Kalonji has. And Pachuca's been very, very good in the press and a lot of energy, running all over the park. And that energy is what's keeping them really challenging Kalonji here in the early going.
Pachuca, Georgia, last weekend fell to Fountain City FC 4-3 down at Otis Spencer Stadium. That was a really big result for Fountain City FC as they've spent a lot of this season at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, that could be a very pivotal victory for them as they look to stay away from the relegation zone and fight their way out of that area.
Remember, the last two teams in The UPSL Georgia Premier Division Conference at the end of the season will be relegated to Division I. Top 2 teams from Division I will get promoted to Premier Division with the asterisks as long as they can meet the requirements of the Premier Division.
Yeah, it's an interesting pathway for the Division I teams because we have 2 groups this season, and the 2 group winners will play a one-off game for automatic promotion, and then the playoffs, the D1 playoffs, will determine the second promotee from Division I for the fall season.
Some really interesting new teams that are down in Division I. 20 teams down there, 10 in the north, 10 in the south. We had an opportunity to see some of those teams down there in a couple matches early in the season. Columbus Knights is a really interesting team. Atlanta Fire has been doing really well.
Yeah, Middle Georgia is one of the favorites now for promotion from the South group there. And I know they've been working hard and getting closer and closer to promotion each season. And it looks like they might have an opportunity this one, but they still have to play. It's very close down there.
Middle Georgia also providing a team in the UPSL Georgia Conference Women's Division who just kicked off.
Yep, they won their first game against North Georgia, an emphatic position, but Steamers beat them last week. So they're one win, one loss.
Steamers with a win over the Peaches.
They play again this week, and we'll be covering that game. Delayed broadcast as the cross comes in. Easily picked up by Sakui.
Sakui with a nice clearance there for Kalonji Pro Profile. That ball was a good 70 yards. Tamimi wanted a foul there as he was slammed into by the defender of Pachuca, Georgia. Not going to get it from our center official.
So far, both of the teams very disciplined in their approach to the game. Not a lot of action in front of goal, but plenty of action in the middle of the field.
Another team that's
a lot of contact down there.
Good battle there in the corner. Finally blasted out. That ball sent deep into the woods.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not one of the Kalonji Pro Profile Academy players here to go recover that ball. So somebody after the match is going to have to go climbing down into Stone Mountain to find that ball.
Yeah, they're going to take a flashlight out there, try to find that one.
And one of the other teams that was newly entered into Division I that I was really interested is Scenic City out of Chattanooga. That's
yeah,
been
they're
a really
in the north. They're
team.
leading the north group right now. Another favorite for promotion, but anything can happen. That's why they call it football.
Yeah, another team up there at the top of the table on the north side, Atletico Buford, another new team. Playing really well. It's not just a battle here in the Premier Division, but also in Division I. The table gets so tight at the end of the season. That ball's going to be headed out. It'll be a throw for Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yep, very entertaining. And, of course, we're going to have the academy, the Youth Academy League that's going to get started up this fall. Remember, it's not a true pro development league until you have your youth academy attached to your senior team.
And we'll see academy levels of the 13, 15s, and 17s.
Yeah, and we will have a category for the U19s that are going to play in the A-League, which is on the level of the Division I. Nice little challenge there on the far side. But our second teams that some of these teams have, like UMA and North Georgia, they're going to play, their second teams are going to play in the A-League next season, along with the U19s. Should make for a very interesting D1 competition in the fall.
Absolutely. That means every single team has an opportunity to be promoted in Division I. Exactly what we want. It is going to be fast and heavy soccer down here in the Georgia Conference. We have a lot of teams that are joining next season in the Premier Division.
Yep,
Chattanooga FC going to join us.
Looking forward to having them there. Might have an announcement of another team soon, but we have to wait for official announcement.
We've already have some other teams that have already committed, not only in the men's leagues, but also in the women's. Several other teams coming back. One of the teams that's looking to come back for the women's, Forest Rovers. We had the men several seasons ago. It's good to see them back in the UPSL.
Yep, they'll be back in the next season. So will Kalonji. Will put their women's team in there as well. We'll have a few others. Here we go.
Here we go. A chance for Pachuca. Gonzalez was offside. He had to let that ball roll.
Yeah, you can see the frustration in him. He really saw the opportunity just melt away there.
TNT will give it over here to Chari on the near side. Chari's got room to move. Elects to just go back to Irving. He'll go over to the far side. Give it forward to White. And a foul going to be committed over there on Pavlotsky. Kalen Kalonji will give it to Medard. He'll go to Tamimi. That ball knocked out. It'll be a throw. And they're going to give the throw. I kind of felt like that one went off of the Pachuca man and not off of Tamimi.
Yeah, it's a close call. Would the ref be right on this one?
Yeah, the ref's a lot closer to that touch line than we are. We're all the way up here in the press box, and we're out of the rain, so I'll let him have that. Bocelli with a good stop. Chari's going to be committed that foul against Ramirez. Ramirez quickly putting it forward. But Chari will run that one down. Get that ball off of Caballero. It'll be a throw, or excuse me, it'll be a foul for Kalonji. They'll take it quickly. Pavlotsky over to the far side.
Yeah, you can see the press there from Pachuca, really trying to put pressure on any possession that they have in their defensive third.
That was a good release for Chari, but Chari wasn't ready for it. Pavlotsky was, that was Pavlotsky, who was taken off his feet for that clearance. He's having a conversation with the center official.
Good traveling support from Pachuca faithful in the stands here.
See the referees for today's match: Thomas Brigman, Griffin Westbrook, Gonzalo Camano, and Aiden Moore. Thank our referees for coming out on this Wednesday night, standing in the rain. And
such a thankless job. They're completely necessary. They're trained well, but they take a lot of abuse.
This should be a throw for Pachuca, Georgia. And it is. It'll be thrown in by Caballero. He'll go back to the back line, move over to the far side. Cut off.
Got the wires crossed.
Good touch there by Tamimi. Chested down by Medard there for a second, but he loses possession just a little. That's going to be a foul from TNT. Not called for, not even a collar pull there. That was more of a hair pull. He's just, and you got to, for TNT, he's about a foot taller than Caballero. So he's just reaching out, and he just kind of grabbed his head more than he grabbed his jersey.
Yeah, you know, that size difference, too, because Kalonji is kind of a larger framed side in comparison to Pachuca. You wonder how that will play out in certain set pieces.
Fernandez able to get that ball forward. Really, the only change in the lineup from Sunday is Fernandez, number 5, coming in for Kalonji Pro Profile instead of Wilfred Camping Chopa. Medard will throw that in. That ball technically didn't even get onto the pitch before it bounced, but they let it go regardless.
We talked about this before with these mixed-use fields with all these lines. It can be confusing. You can miss certain details like that.
And It is the gray line that is the touch line. Back to Demise and Irving. Irving trying to get somebody to move into space so he can make a good pass. Trying to get it forward to Medard. Not going to get there. Pavlovsky will. Medard wins it. Laid off was Kalonji. Gives it to Tamimi. Tamimi trying to give it back to Medard. Fighting through two defenders. Kalonji gets it back. Loses it. Take a shot. Whoa!
Wow. Hot shot out of nowhere there.
That
Top
one
of the
had
key
some
there.
pace on it.
Taking a look at that. Yeah, it was off of a failed clearance there. And Tony Tiente just came in and just used his patented hammer of a right foot. But just couldn't get it on target there.
Be a goal kick for Pachuca, Georgia. Porcelli now. Loses it.
I like this. The
Tamimi.
refs really letting them play.
There's Pavlovsky hitting the deck again. Frustrated, not getting the call. Irving going over to the far side to Fernandez. Able to get a good touch on it. He's
Oh,
moving
nice.
forward. Loses it, but White's right there. Gives it back to Fernandez. It's going to be deflected
Yeah.
and out for a throw. That was a good touch there by Fernandez.
That was fantastic. Yeah, went around the defender.
Tiente heads it, gives it to Kalonji, laid off to Medard. He not able to get that pass to Tamimi.
He's got him on the
give
left
it a
side.
chance. Gonzalez gives it over to the far side. He goes down, but he's okay. For Gonzalez, shot, save. Knocked out. It'll be a corner.
Yeah, blocked out over the end line there. So there's an opportunity here, scoring position here for Pachuca.
Kamani Irving was able to just get his foot and clear that ball out for Kalonji Pro Profile off of that Gonzalez shot. Got to run down that ball. That's back on the track line.
Yep, and unfortunately no ball boys here today. Never quite understood that. If you have an academy, you should have these kids out here getting these balls. It is what it is, I guess.
And this will be an outswinger for Pachuca, Georgia. It's not like they're practicing today with the rain. Up, gonna have a conversation with some of the players in the box. Just trying to calm everybody down. It looks like Kalen Kalonji and Resendez, who is having a conversation. Here comes the outswinger. All the way through, headed up by Fernandez and away by Tiente, back in, and Kalen Kalonji with the clearance. Medard has just so much pace. He's just able to get that ball, but can't control it. Pachuca now being stood up by Fernandez. It'll be another throw for Pachuca, Georgia. .28 minutes into this match, Kalonji Pro Profile 0, Pachuca, Georgia 0. Here in the UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. We are in week 15, but we are in makeup mode as we are mid-week. Kalonji Pro Profile with 2 matches to make up. We have only 1 more week of regular season action. Kalonji Pro Profile with 2 extra games in hand, have to make up this one and another one next Wednesday. Good battle there for Pachuca. They wanted a foul there too. And they're not going to get one as much as Kalonji Pro Profile is not getting one today.
Yeah, that's a trip.
There's finally a foul.
I like this from the ref, though. Let them play. Let them. Football's a contact sport. You're going to hit and bang up against each other as long as you don't, commit the foul.
Absolutely. Tony Tiente, he'll come over here to Kalen Kalonji. Kalonji gives it to Medard. Medard loses possession. Trying to win it right back. Does. Gets taken down. Advantage is played. Shot. Save. Another chance. Tamimi. Oh, what a save.
Oh, Tamimi wanted that back.
Good attack by Kalonji pro profile there, and even better defense by Pachuca, Georgia.
Yeah, it was desperate defending, but it was effective. Good decision by the referee to play on from that foul that gave Kalonji an opportunity. Kalonji have had the best chances so far, but right now Pachuca is playing them toe-to-toe.
Impressive header out of the back from Demise. Medard not able to completely control it. Gets to Pavlotsky. Pavlotsky gives it to Tamimi. Tamimi thought about it. He rolls it, goes ahead and turns.
Good defending.
Makes the turn all the way around. Gives it back to Medard. Oh, just a little bit of a nick of a Pachuca player out for a throw.
That was really, really good defending on Pachuca. They didn't allow Tamimi to turn to get that quick shot off.
The thing about Tamimi is his feet are so active that he can just work out of issues like that.
Yeah, he only needs a little bit of space to be effective. Really shows that Coach Montoya has done a lot of
nice little flick there by Kalonji. Kalen wanted the ball, not going to get it. Medard across.
Tried to spectacular.
He wanted that one on frame, and it went across the pitch, not on frame.
Would have been pretty if he had got it on frame.
Well, he would say that was a pass.
Yeah.
But that was a shot on goal. Trying to get the ball over to Chari, able to do so. Chari holds it up, gives it back to Tiente. Tiente bounces that one off of the Pachuca man. But this one's just going to be cleared back. Again, thank you so much for watching UPSL Georgia action right here on ASMG TV. If you like what we present you, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get not just this live content, but podcast, highlights, interviews, and so much more right here on ASMG TV.
Let that go through. Keep it go.
Able to. No, that one's out. It'll be a goal kick.
Almost kept it in.
Whether you're watching here in the States or if you're watching internationally, or like our good friend Andrea over in Italy that watches on the weekends. But he'll watch this one right on the highlights.
It's a little late for him tonight.
He'll watch the highlights when they come out during the day over there in Italy.
Yeah, we'll have some top goals to display as well. There's a little controversy there, but there's going to be a call for Pachuca.
As we are in the month of June and we're almost wrapped up. And then as soon as we get through the regular season, we go right into the playoffs. And that is going to be considered
dangerous on the ground, he said. Dangerous play.
We'll have top 8 teams will go over to the playoffs. Top 4 teams will be hosts for week 1. After that, it will be high seed that will have the home field advantage throughout the remainder of the playoffs. Pachuca, Georgia with a chance here with a bad pass from Kalonji pro profile. Trying to get around Tiente. Pavlotsky there to help as well. Win the ball off of him. Medard now looking to release it for on-running Tamimi. Not going to give it to him just yet. Loses possession there in the midfield, but they get it right back. Tamimi gives it to Kalonji. Kalen's looking for space. He's going to slide it across. Holds up. Decides to turn around and just give it right back to Tiente and get it right back from him. Had an opportunity there, thought about giving it to Fernandez and elected to hold on to it. Fernandez stepping up but allowed that one to get past him. Now here comes an on-runner for Pachuca, Georgia. He's got space to work. Trying to get around Demise. Shot taken, deflected off of Kamani Irving. Tony Tiente will get there. And that is going to be a yellow card issued to number 9,
Can't
Gonzalez.
let your frustration get to you like that.
And he's going to get the card because he threw Chari to the ground.
There can only be one result from that.
And that comes in the 34th minute. And exactly what Chari was doing. Chari was just holding up the space to stop the movement, allow Tiente to have space to move that ball back. Gonzalez not liking that and just WWE style threw him to the ground.
Yeah, you got to be smarter than that, though. You're going to hurt your team. Now you're going to have to play differently with a yellow. That's one of the things that Kalonji's been really good is getting in the head of your opponents, frustrating them.
Tamimi, shot, what a goal for Kalonji, pro profile!
How about that?
With an advantage, moving forward, Medard once again in the back of the net for Kalonji, pro profile 1-0.
Medard remains on fire here today. Nice little hopeful ball over the top, put it on the top, free header. Little breakdown in defense for Pachuca there. But he had a free header, and he wasn't going to make a mistake from that just inside the goal box there. And Kalonji finally breaks the deadlock here with a critical goal before half. So now, Larry, we've got to see how Pachuca responds to this.
And it was a great build-up there because it wasn't easy there.
No.
You get the header from Kalen to set him, or from...
Yeah, the flick on was critical.
Yeah, the flick on was just as critical as the header by Medard.
I'm sure Coach Montoya is going to be very upset to see Medard have a free header like that in the penalty area. There needs to be a body on him.
34th minute, Medard with the goal. Kalen and Tamimi controlling that ball there for a moment. Win it right back.
Ooh.
Over the ball, over the top bar, but out for a goal kick. This is one thing that Pachuca doesn't need. You're seeing these Kalonji forwards playing with finesse, and they're expressing themselves.
Yeah, I mean, again, they have a nose for goal. They're going to be attacking. They're always 100 miles an hour, and they're relentless, you know, methodical, and they keep going and going and going. And the moment you drop your guard or you miss an assignment in the defense, boom, they got you.
Cavillo bringing it out of the back for Pachuca. And you got to feel for Cavillo because there was just nothing he could do there. The ball was perfectly placed on that header from Medard. He got up, but he's just not high enough to get up and get that looping ball from the header. Chari will go back to Irving. Tiente. Fernandez switching play back here to Chari. Chari will be able to get it. Gets it forward to Kalen. Kalen just gets a touch on it, trying to get it to Medard. That'll make its way back to Cavillo. Calvillo will send it out. Demise will head that straight up into the air. And Fernandez will clear it out forward. Blake White, Povalatsky, Tiente. Chari once again. The rain has pretty much subsided here at Charlie Jordan Field, which then brings out the frogs in the area, if you'll hear those on the broadcast. And that's a nasty little challenge on Tiente. Right about midline.
gamesmanship there from Pachuca.
Absolutely. Tony Tiente, the former Atlanta United 2-man, along with his partner in crime, Tamimi, who was also with the Twos. Irving's able to get it forward to Tiente. Tiente also having some coaching duties for Kalonji Pro Profile this season.
Yeah, I think he started the season with SSL, but they've given that over to Coach Allen for the rest of the season.
Medard gives it to Tamimi. Tamimi loses it underneath his feet. He's able to take the shot and just pulls it wide. It'll be touched by Pachuca, Georgia. It'll go out for a corner.
Kalonji getting more and more into the game on the attacking aspect of it. Pachuca playing a little bit more on their back foot at the moment. And they're going to have to find a way to get themselves forward a little bit
They were
more.
really aggressive in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they've kind of fallen off the last 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Tiente is going to take this in swinger. To the back post. Straight up into the air. Demise putting it back on frame. Still has it. He goes down. No foul is called. And Calvillo is going to be able to possess the ball for Pachuca, Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, fair challenge. They're both players going for the ball.
Cleared by Pachuca, Georgia, but that one's going to roll out. Not going to be able to keep that ball in was Ramirez. Substitution for Pachuca, Georgia, and it'll be number 9, Gonzalez, who's coming off, who had that yellow card. I think that's a good decision by Montoya. He was replaced by number 10.
Oh, careless
Here's
giveaway
an
there.
opportunity. A couple careless passes for Kalonji in the defense. The
Oh,
ball's knocked out. It'll be a throw. So they get saved there because they had a couple of mistakes.
just couldn't get past the defenders. Was trying to get himself in a position where he could cross over to the players waiting in the middle, but Kalonji's defense was strong enough.
Number 10 was Marlon Lopez, who came in for Pachuca, Georgia. Kalonji Pro Profile trying to gain a few yards on that throw, as all players do when they get a throw in.
Yeah.
Kamani's able to clear that ball forward. No foul. Pachuca have it. Porcelli, he'll take the shot, but he pulls that wide.
Yeah, you kind of have to. They're just not getting the space that they need. So whenever you have that opportunity facing goal, you're going to have to try to take a shot.
Kind of forced that one.
Yeah. It was going to be a low percentage shot. He just couldn't get past it. He couldn't unlock that Kalonji defense.
And he had 2 defenders on him, so he was trying to thread the needle. Back underway, Chari.
Late challenge there. It's going to be called. I think the ref was going to maybe wait to see if advantage could be called there, but it didn't develop.
Bouncing around over there on the far side. It'll be knocked out. It'll be another throw for Kalonji Pro Profile. Here comes the throw. Tamimi able to get a touch on it. That ball is still in play, and it'll go out. It'll be a throw for Pachuca.
Cameraman lost where the ball was going to be thrown in there. It seemed like it was further down the field, should be, but.
That and the AR wasn't quite sure who that ball was supposed to be for. He was flagging on both sides of the field. He finally got it all put together. We got it all put together.
That's a hot back pass.
Cavillo.
They're saying he handled the back pass. It was a very hot back pass. It bounced up, and it might have hit him on the arm.
Offsides.
And, of course, goalkeepers cannot handle back passes.
When it's coming, yes, when it's a pass from a
different,
when it's a legitimate pass.
Yeah. Well, that was a legitimate pass. It was just really poor quality, I think.
Acrobatic little clearance there by Fernandez. We're rolling through the 45th minute. We'll see how much stoppage time we're going to get.
He's preparing the board now. The fourth official.
That ball will be knocked out. It'll be a throw for Pachuca, Georgia. Extra ball being requested.
Whoa.
And just taken off of his feet, Medard, but Medard is going to be the one that committed the foul. Quickly taken by Pachuca. Sam Pavlotsky going to get there. Now he's going to try to make a break. Releases. Not able to get there, but Kalen Kalonji sliding challenge. Not able to get there as well. Was that 3 minutes of stoppage time I'm seeing there, Dre? Or 2 minutes,
like it's going to be 2.
2 minutes, excuse me. 2 minutes of stoppage time.
There he goes.
There we go. Officially 2 minutes. That ball too far in front of Ramirez. Sakui will quickly throw that out to Chari. Tiente now. He'll give it back to Chari and back and forth between the two players. Kalen Kalonji. He'll go across the field over to Demise. Demise has plenty of space to move forward. We'll just pass between him and Fernandez. Give it back to Sakui. Lionel not had too much work to do this first 45. Sent forward by Pavlotsky. Blake tried to chest it back to Kalen Kalonji, lost it, but White has it again. He's going to lift it forward to Tamimi. What a ball forward from Tamimi over to Tiente.
Ball.
Tiente, what a save by Calvillo. Coming out of his position in deep in the box, clears it out.
One-on-one, did the job, keeper.
Comes way out of his position. Sliding challenge. That is it has to be one of the saves of the month for June. And we just started June.
One of the saves of the season, it seems like. Don't know how critical that could be later on either. If Pachuca can get a goal back, look back on that save and say that was going to be critical. It's a great ball over there. Gave it into a lot of space. Goalkeeper, great instincts to come out and effectively got the save in and got himself back into position.
And that will be handball as it bounced up and
little handbags there, I think.
Cavillo will clear it.
There we go.
And that will end the first half here. Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School. It's Kalonji per profile 1, Pachuca, Georgia 0. And like we were saying, Dre, Pachuca, Georgia looked really, really good those first 10 minutes, and they've kind of dropped off as this first half went on.
Well, you can see they're well coached. They're very organized. They're able to go toe-to-toe for the most part with Kalonji per profile, but they have not been able to establish any type of attack. They've tried to break, but they don't have that finishing touch at the end on the attacking end of the field. Kalonji, on the other hand, kind of dominating possession. They're the ones getting forward and getting attempts on goal. It's not been a runaway by any stretch of the imagination, but Kalonji is comfortable right now. And, I think Coach Montoya is going to have some work at halftime to get them back into this game and give them the opportunity to get something out of this match.
That'll do it for us for the first 45. We'll step away for a few minutes, get a beverage and a snack. We'll come back for the second 45 here at Charlie Jordan Field. It's Kalonji Pro Profile 1, Pachuca, Georgia 0. And welcome back here to Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School for this UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. It's Kalonji Pro Profile 1, Pachuca, Georgia 0. Larry Weaver alongside Andre Bomar, sponsored by Images Frozen in Time. And really good start for Pachuca, Georgia in that first 45. The first 10, 15 minutes really looked good, really had good press, but slowly and methodically, Kalonji Pro Profile got back into the match. Goal scored in the 34th minute by number 20, Medard. Great header. And Kalonji Pro Profile goes into this second 45, being the first one on the ball and having the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Kalonji. They're playing just well enough to be in front right now. And I think that they have a couple of more gears that they could use if need be. But Pachuca has been well organized and had their opportunities, but they've been very weak in attack so far. And I think that that's the adjustment. I want to see what Coach Montoya might have done to adjust for the second half to get them more in an attacking mood for this game.
And this is the beginning of week 15 of 16 here in the UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division. 14 teams, 2 teams are going to be relegated to Division I. 8 teams are going to move on to the playoffs here in just about a week and a half. We'll see who gets to lift the regular season title. Underway here, Charlie Jordan Field.
Ooh. Right away, you see what Kalonji's trying to do.
See what Coach Montoya was able to talk to his Pachuca squad and see if there will be any substitutions. One substitution in the first half, Gonzalez going out for Pachuca, Georgia. He was on a yellow card. He was replaced by number 10, Lopez. No changes for Kalonji Pro Profile so far. Remember, here in the UPSL system, up to 7 substitutions per match per team. That one got past Fernandez, still in. Ramirez trying to get the ball forward, cleared away by Kamani Irving, the captain of Kalonji Pro Profile. Like we said in the first 45 minutes, Kalonji Pro Profile currently coming into this match in second place, 2 points behind Potros FC, but this is one of 2 makeup games that they have. They have 2 games at hand, so they can find themselves at the top of the table if the score line stays the way it is. Potros is not going to go gently into that good night. They'll continue to fight, try to get the second regular season title in their organization's history.
Yeah, Potros is beginning stronger and stronger as the season goes on, and they're waiting for the door to be opened, with the possibility that Kalonji might trip up a little bit here at the end of the season.
They've already been defeated by Georgia Revolution. Could they be defeated by the likes of Pachuca, Georgia, or potentially North Georgia United, who they have to take on Saturday up at Riverbend Park?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. North Georgia trying to get out of the slump they've had for the second half of the season. It's a terrible slump that they've found themselves in after being towards the top of the table in the early part of the season.
One good thing for North Georgia United on Sunday, they had their star striker back in the lineup, Emmanuel Lam. He'd been on injured reserve for several weeks. Finally back in the squad. He started on the bench. Got to get a good 20 minutes in that match.
Yeah, it was a good boost for them. He's still not match fit, unfortunately, but he's had some time now, so could be ready for next week against Kalonji.
And his striking partner, Ronald Maradiaga, with a goal for North Georgia United, even though they did fall to SSL FC.
Yeah, Maradiaga's second place in the Golden Boot this season.
So Potro
So far.
FC's Nazario and Bamio at the top of the Golden Boot table, doing exactly what he did when he was at Georgia Athletic and when he was at Atlanta Rovers, putting away the ball into the back of the net. Doesn't matter which badge he's wearing, he will always be a force up there in that striker role.
Yeah, that really has complemented Portros very well because they already had a prolific scorer in Mark Renaud. So now they got that tandem.
And they also got really lucky with the likes of Jimmy Noel coming over from Atlanta City.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about him, yeah. He's been putting in the assist for them. It's a solid team, Portros. I think that, you know, it'll be interesting. I mean, there's one thing about the division title that you're going for. Kalonji looked the favorite for that unless they trip up here at the end. But the playoffs is a whole nother ball game. And Portros is strong enough to string together some results here. They could win the whole thing.
And when we talk about Atlanta City, we talk about their star striker. He's now a part of this Kalonji Pro Profile team, Thierry Jules. Hasn't played for a few weeks. And that's the thing about this Kalonji Pro Profile squad, what we were talking about in the first half, Dre, just the depth of this roster.
Indeed.
We haven't seen the likes of Grant Carr in a few weeks. The veteran left back for Kalonji Pro Profile. Sliding across to Tony Tiente. He gives it up to Tamimi. Tamimi takes a shot. Saved there by Calvillo, but it'll go out. It'll be a corner.
It needed saving, too. When he started to wind up, you just had to look and see, is he going to get it on frame? And sure enough, he did.
Just so much power. He'll come in swinger from that was White, I believe, who did that.
All the way through.
At first, I thought it was Tiente, but then I saw Tiente in the box.
Oh, they're going to have
be a throw.
Thought it come off of Kalonji player, but it came off Pachuca.
Back to Fernandez. He'll come over to Irving. Irving right through the center. He'll take a long shot.
Wow.
Calvillo able to get a touch on it.
Good clearance.
That kind of shot from Kamani Irving gives me historical memories of Atlanta Elephants.
That always comes up when we're talking about those long-range rockets they used to put through.
Team that just had the ability to put in 40 and 50-yard shots at will.
Yeah, it was a sight to see.
Be a throw for Pachuca, Georgia.
Atlanta Elephants, one of the OG teams, still playing tournament ball. Yeah, another player that I'm wondering if we will see in the playoffs for Kalonji Pro Profiles, Junior Sandoval, the elder statesman.
He always seems to find a way to make it into the roster.
Yeah, he's on the roster now, but generally, I mean, he plays other places, but he generally shows up here for the playoffs.
Another player that I'm really looking forward to seeing for Kalonji Pro Pro, see if he becomes a part of the playoffs, is Patrick Kawanda, the former captain of Seas United.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Always has a smile.
Yep, loves the game.
Pavlotsky will lay it off for Irving. Irving will go long. He's looking to give it to Medard, but that one's a little too central for Medard.
Yeah, too long, too central.
Now the long ball for Pachuca. And Chari will head that out. It'll be a throw.
A little space. Nobody
Tried
there.
to slot that across was Lopez, but there was just nobody there. It'll go out for a throw for Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yeah, that attack had a little bit of potential there, but again, like you said, nobody on that far post for him. The slow, low cross.
And like we were saying in the first half, Dre, right now, Pachuca, Georgia, they're currently in 9th place, just outside of the playoffs. They're only out by 1 point.
Yeah, they have a couple of games to do something about that.
That one got a little bit of deflection, cleared away by Kalonji Pro Profile. Pachuca will have 2 more matches left in the season. And that'll be a foul by Pachuca on Kareem Tamimi, and that one is just about 45 yards.
Think Tiente is going to take a shot at this?
Absolutely. At least put it on frame. Oh, they take it quickly.
Oh, short.
I was expecting them to put it on frame.
Yeah, I was expecting a rocket.
Tamimi, and that one's nicked out. It'll be a throw for Kalonji. So Pachuca has 2 more matches after this. They'll be home to FC Columbus Elite, and they'll be on the road to Albion SC Atlanta. So 2 matches that they do have a potential to win. North Georgia United is going to need to at least have some points in their last matches if they want to be able to hold on to that 8th spot.
Yeah, they're in danger of slipping out of the playoff picture. It's White.
There's a shot right at Calvello, because you look at North Georgia United, they have 2 matches as well. They got to take on Kalonji Pro Profile on Saturday, and then next week they'll be away to Georgia Athletic. Those are going to be 2 challenging teams for them.
Yeah, those are going to be really, really tough. They're in no danger of any type of relegation picture, but I think they had ambitions certainly early in the season for the league title.
Well, you look at last season, Coach K was able to get them into the playoffs. They made it all the way to the finals here at Charlie Jordan Field.
Some retake it in the right spot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they lost to Kalonji, but they made it all the way to the finals.
They've just hit this really devastating slump here after such a fantastic start to the season. You're hoping that they could,
Fernandez will be called for that one.
But now they're going to end the season on 2 extremely tough games. We see what Georgia Athletic did to Dalton last week.
You've also got to be careful because you've also got the likes of SSL down there as well.
It's amazing competition. Every week there's been a twist and turn.
Because SSL is only 2 points out. They've got to take Georgia Revolution and Kalonji on. So they're going to have a fight if they're going to ever have a chance to get into the playoffs. They could save themselves out of relegation.
I mean, it's really great stuff, Larry, for the neutral. I mean, to see this type of competition right down to the wire. Oh,
Sakui coming all the way out of his box, not able to get that one right, but he has to hold up, allows Sakui to come back. And cleared it away by Pavlotsky. Man, they had a chance.
It's fortunate that ball went really wide. And then the defense really recovered quickly for Kalonji.
Here's a chance for Tamimi, saved.
Good save.
Calvillo with another fantastic save.
Chance to break Pachuca.
The Pachuca goalkeeper has really kept them in this match as we're in the 58th minute.
Pachuca need a goal here to turn the tide a little bit. Onside.
Pavlotsky able to control that ball. Be knocked out. We talked about the chances of Kalonji Pro Profile. You look at the team that is currently in first place, Potros FC. They are going to have to take on the Columbuses in the last 2 games. They'll be at home to Fountain City FC, and then they will be away in the final week to take on FC Columbus.
Yeah, but Potros are going to be favored in both of those games.
Advantage being played. Blake White hits the brakes. He'll lay it off for Chari. Chari will give it right back to him. White will come over to Pavlotsky and to Tiente. He'll give it right back to Pavlotsky and to Kalen Kalonji. Kalen's got space to move around. He'll lay it off to Tiente. Tiente will come over here to the near side to Medard. Medard makes the turn past the first defender, holds off the second, gets past the third, goes down. That'll be a foul. And a yellow card will be issued on that foul.
Clumsy attempt there. He just dove in there. It was very, very late. Gave the referee no choice but to show the yellow. See, he put the ball past him, and yeah, he just came out. He's going to have to try to stop him. Almost a professional foul.
This will be an interesting opportunity because this ball is about 23 yards out.
Yeah, off to the right side here. It's in range. Three-man wall developing for Pachuca. Sure, the referee's going to have to walk off the yardage there. Wait for the whistle. A lot of white shirts forward. Blue hoops trying to mark up there. Three-man wall. It's like Tamimi. Oh,
Chari and Kalonji. To be Kalen Kalonji. That one never really saw the right side.
Couldn't quite curl it. Got it up above the wall, but couldn't get it on frame.
Take a moment to talk about the third place team. They're only 3 points out of first place, and that's Georgia Revolution. Their last two matches is against Soccer Saves Lives SSL and then away, and then their final game at home will be against Lamino, Georgia.
Yeah, it's another team looking to finish strong. Still an outside chance for a division title, but they're going to need help by the teams above them dropping points.
And if they can, they will get to be a home field advantage, at least that first week. Here comes the ball for Medard. Medard has it. He slides it across, but not able to get that ball to Tamimi. Going to win it is Tony Tiente. He'll give it to Kalonji, who will give it right back to him, and over to Chari, over to Tamimi. Tamimi makes a beautiful turn, gets past the defender, takes the shot! Woo!
Right above the bar there.
Substitution for Pachuca, Georgia.
Number 3 is coming off.
Yeah.
For Pachuca.
That'll be Mejia, who's coming off. Really haven't called his name in that first 63 minutes of the match.
Maybe a little tactical change. It was at 24 this come on. 74 this come on.
74 who came on.
Trying to close down too many. They had 3 guys on him. Going to be a corner.
Another opportunity for Kalonji per profile. 63 minutes into the match. They're still holding on to the 1-0 lead.
Kalonji has picked up quite where they left off in the first half. Again, with the lion's share of possession, more of the attack. Pachuca holding strong. But they have to try to turn some of this defensive play into attack themselves.
This will be an outswinger. Tiente went down. Or no, that was Kamani Irving who went down. And Medard committing the foul and getting a little bit there in return. Center official coming over and settling that down, having a conversation with Ramirez. Kamani Irving as the captain coming over.
Quick to react there to quell any dangers.
Well, good work by Kalonji just to walk away.
That seemed like more of a clearance just to give him a breather.
Able to get that ball forward was Kamani Irving. Pachuca hold off Medard. But Medard gets it right back. Tamimi let that one run, gives it to Kalen. Kalen flicks it, trying to get it to Medard. Good work by the Pachuca defense. Ruiz having to clear that ball out. Medard wanting to put another tally up, as he has had his shooting boots on for the last few days. He had a brace in the last match. Be a throw for Kalonji per profile. It'll be Fernandez who's going to take this. Looking for a long throw. Good throw. Headed by Tamimi, but all the way through goal, and it'll be cleared by Pachuca. Chari comes up and is able to get a touch on it, but he's left out. Irving's able to cover the space as Pachuca was looking to counterattack there. Demise gives it to Pavlotsky. He makes the turn, gives it over to Chari. Back to Irving. This Kalonji Pro Profile team able to settle the danger and then completely just reset up their composure and come right back. You know, we talked about this on Sunday, Dre. This is a Kalonji Pro Profile team. It doesn't matter if they're up by 1 or if they're up by 10. It's just in their nature to attack.
Yeah, it's just the way that their pedigree is. It's just attack, attack, attack. One speed.
Pachuca, good ball. Able to get it to Ramirez. He loses possession to Tiente, cleared. Medard's able to get to that one. He lifts it forward to Tamimi. Tamimi with possession.
Such quick feet, him.
He's just never stopping with those feet. He never really lets the ball get too far in front of him.
His ability to change direction on a dime is what makes him really dangerous for defenders.
Come over here to the near side, newly entered Pachuca man. Working down the near line, trying to work around Medard. Medard able to slide tackle that one away. It's out for a throw, and it's deflected off of the Pachuca man. It'll be a throw for Kalonji Pro Profile. 68 minutes. Goal came in the 34th minute, almost half a match ago. Demise gives it over to the near side here. Fernandez, Tamimi, Medard. Medard gets around the first challenge, does not get past the second one, and is knocked out, and it'll be a throw. Fernandez puts it back in play. Tamimi works around the first one. Second, lays it off to Medard. Medard was offside.
Yeah, he drifted off there. Making sure everything's cool there with that attack.
Yeah,
that challenge.
Just making sure that was nothing more than just a challenge.
And the referee crew has been sharp and on the ball here. Not an ill-tempered match, but it's one of those ones that could get heated.
That's something that Kalonji is able to get. They are able to get teams out of thinking and they start being emotional.
Yeah,
and then they exploit that emotion.
Probably one of the better teams that does mind games very well.
Pavlotsky and number 10.
Yeah, I think it was the extra stuff that was going on after the challenge.
Yeah, Lopez and Pavlotsky were had come together there, and a little extracurricular from Lopez.
On. Yeah, and the referee did not like what the Pachuca man was doing.
So Lopez will get a yellow card in the 69th minute. Expect Tiente to just lift this ball forward. Again, we had rain in the early before the match and just a little bit of drizzle in the first half. Rain has subsided here in Snellville, Georgia.
Yeah, nice and fairly cool for this time of year too right now.
Got a nice wind coming from the far side to the near side, right at our faces. Kamani Irving will take a strike. Headed, and that one will be knocked out. It'll be a corner. Again, this will be the first match of week 15. You see a chock-a-block full of matches there. 4 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Again, Pachuca will be at home Saturday at 5. Kalonji will be on the road at 7 to North Georgia. Kalen Kalonji will be over this ball. It'll be an in-swinger.
Little delay here. The referee is checking on things.
The official on the side thought that Kalen did not have that ball on the line. Here comes the in-swinger. That one just got past Tamimi. Tamimi knew what he wanted, but it was just a little too far out of his range.
He was a little frustrated that nobody moved towards the ball in that far post.
Was a foul committed in the box. Again, only 2 substitutions in this match so far, both of them coming for Pachuca, Georgia. Good touch there by Chari. Kamani, he's going to send it long. Nobody there for that pass. It'll roll all the way to Calvillo. He'll roll it out. Working down the near line. Good tackle there by Fernandez. Gets it past Caballero, but it will be a throw for Pachuca. They'll have a substitution. And it will be the end of the day for number 6, Leyva. Tony Tiente holding up play there on number 10, Lopez.
Nice
the ball
move
around Chari, newly entered Pachuca man. And it's 81 who came on.
Yeah, no foul there.
That'll be a goal kick.
Ended
No,
up
there was
running
no
into
foul.
the back. Players shake hands.
And it's Haven Leong who came on.
This is the first Kalonji sub for today.
It is. I didn't see who came off. Who came off? Looks like Pavlotsky came off.
Yeah, on the far
He
side.
was replaced by number 3, Argueta. Blake White will receive this ball. Gives it back to Fernandez. He tried to get that one to Tiente. It was off the mark. Allows Pachuca to gain possession for a moment. Medard wins it back. Bad pass. He'll go forward to Tamimi. Tamimi looking to lift it forward to Medard. Medard was able to get there. Goes down. No foul.
50-50.
Tiente in center circle. Goes over to the far side. He'll get it right back. Trying to get it to White, to Tamimi. Tamimi tries to take the shot. Deflected. Cleared away by Pachuca. Bouncing through. Demise will head it back to Sakui. And he'll roll it back to Irving, who had to work quickly, lost possession. Sakui did not give him a lot of space to work that pass.
Oh. Waited too long.
He had the opportunity, just not able to release the ball.
Yeah, he was in space, but he allowed the defender to close the gap. He might have been trying to figure out, should he take a shot or cross it back across the face of goal.
This will be a corner for Pachuca. They're going to take it quickly. Into the box, deflected, and they'll get to do it again. Number 11, Ferreros, with that deflection off of Irving via another corner. Here comes the in-swinger. Bouncing through. It's dangerous. Trying to work around. Kalonji able to clear. Pachuca looking, finding some spaces here now, Dre. Medard now, he has the ball. He got it out of a jam. He's able to move forward. He has some space. He has some friends. Lays it off. Tamimi. Not able to get that one past Calvillo or get the pass over to Kalen Kalonji. Now Pachuca again looking to attack. Able to get that one past Demise. Sakui cleared by Demise.
Oh, close, close, close.
Pachuca all of a sudden coming out of nowhere on the attack. Another substitution.
Action there.
Another substitution for Kalonji. And it's going to be Blake White coming off.
First, he had Kalonji down the other side. I thought he should have laid it off to Kareem Tamimi, who was off to the left. But he wanted to go himself. Did get a shot off on goal, but it came back the other way. Thrown back in to get this nice transition going. Good ball forward, beautifully put through. Tried to get it through. Sakui doing just enough.
Be a throw for Kalonji. 78th minute. They'll get to do it again.
Yeah. Time's going to become a factor, but it is just a one-goal lead.
Blake White came off, and Asher Povalatsky is who came on. This one comes right to Demise. He's able to get control of it, gives it to Tiente. Tiente gives it over to Fernandez. Fernandez holds up, tries to give it back to Sakui. It's able to get to him. He'll take a moment, survey the field. He'll send it long. Tamimi controlled it for a second, but he gives it up to Pachuca. Over on the far side. But get it all the way over here to the near side, over to Ramirez. Ramirez trying to get past Fernandez. He does. He takes a shot. Sakui with the save.
Good shot, fine save.
Pachuca George is starting to really work into this match. See this ball come over here to the near side. A solid strike. Even better save. Here comes an in-swinger. Low. Saved by Tiente. Able to hold off Kalen Kalonji. Is Pachuca. Pachuca still fighting. That one deflected off of Medard. Medard's able to clear it. Headed back in play by Pachuca. Cleared, sent over to the far side. No foul. Now, Kalonji with possession. Pavlotsky taken off of the ball. That ball's going to go out. It'll be a throw. Here comes another substitution, and a yellow card is going to be issued to Kalen Kalonji for that challenge just a little bit ago in the 80th minute. And that's good to see the center official going back to finish up with that yellow card on that challenge. Who is being substituted off of? And it'll be Kalen Kalonji who will come off because of that yellow card.
Good to go ahead and preserve that because you're going to need him. The match is coming up.
And that is Daniel Tumasi who comes on for Kalen Kalonji. Daniel's been on duties for MLS Next, coming back into the UPSL roster. Goes down, is going to earn the foul.
That's what I mean. He's so quick, you know, as a defender, you take your chances when you dive in to try to get the ball from him. And there he brought him down.
And this immediately will be a set piece that Daniel Tomasi wanted to take. Gets called off. It'll be Tony Tiente who will be over the ball.
Kalonji looking to try to seal victory with a goal, but Pachuca wants to get a goal to get back into the match.
This is right on the 18 line. Low, deflected,
Now
will be a corner. That one was trying to be off of the training pitch between Tiente and his old United 2 partner, Kareem Tamimi. But Tamimi's able to earn the corner for Kalonji. Now this will be Daniel Tomasi who will get the opportunity with the in-swinger. Into the box, headed away. That one just kind of swiped at by Asher. It'll go out for a goal kick.
Pachuca live to play another moment here.
All right, we just went through the 82nd minute. Time is a ticking away from them.
All they need is a goal to draw level, though. Kalonji wins. They go back top of the table temporarily, at least.
Still have a game in hand. They will make up next Wednesday, right here at Charlie Jordan Field. Not able to get enough of that one. Another substitution coming on for Kalonji Pro Profile. As these substitutions are coming fast-paced, it'll be Kareem Tamimi who will step aside.
Tamimi was active on that left side, but he was pretty much closed down for a large part of the match.
And no goals for Tamimi tonight. It is Zane Hilton who came on. No foul. It is in possession of Pachuca.
Nope.
And no foul there from Kalonji.
Nope. Neither one of them was a foul.
That one bouncing around. Still in possession of Kalonji. There's Argueta. Be a throw for Kalonji. I think the center official is going to go over and have a conversation with Coach Montoya.
Coach Montoya, famous for his verbiage with the referees from time to time, I'll say.
A coach that is well known here in the Atlanta region.
Yeah, you know, I just, the referees do a good job in our league. They're not perfect, neither are the coaches or the players. So we got to learn how to deal with each other without abusing each other. I feel strongly about that.
That one cleared well into the seats by Kalonji. Pachuca working out of danger, able to really get moving forward. Good pace. Ramirez. That one cleared by Irving. Cavillo will send this one back forward. Bouncing around. Tiente clears. Now here, Tomasi. He's able to get it over to Argueta. Argueta. He's going to slide it across over to Medard. Medard able to get a touch on it. And the back of the net.
Wow.
Medard! That is a sensational goal.
Amazing. He's caught a cramp there, but what a finish he put in. He found that space on that right side. They didn't close him down quick enough. And he just slid it on in the near post.
That was probably the best one I've seen of the 4 goals that Medard has had in the last 2 games. Look at this, Dre.
Yeah, you see him. He's found his space down there. The defender has his back to him. Gets drawn away by ball watching a little bit. Couple of touches, taking off his feet there.
And he just got a good poke on it, and it just had so much power that Cavillo had no chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, too. It was a near post shot. Could the goalkeeper have done a little bit better there? Got both players with cramps there. Looks like Pachuca and the goal scorer.
You see, there'll probably be a few minutes of added time added for this delay. And you see some substitutions on both sides.
That's going to be a critical goal, though, and not only for this match, but in the division title race.
If it stays the way it is, like you were saying, Dre, this will see Kalonji go back to the top of the table.
Pachuca kept him close for so long, just a goal difference in the match. He's gonna have him go to the sideline. Legs cramping up and make it look a little funny as you try to walk off.
Hey, we know what that feels like.
Yeah, it's not fun. But 2-0 now, 88th minute. You're kind of thinking it's a bridge too far now with Pachuca, given how this game has been going.
All right, Pachuca will get us back underway.
Going to get something out of it. They have to score immediately and then scramble for an equalizer after that.
And Ramos will replace Medard, coming off with that cramp. We're in the 89th minute, but I would expect at least 4 minutes, at least.
Could be. We had a few stoppages.
Had a few stoppages. And a single goal. That goal coming in the 86th minute.
Critically given the throw in for Kalonji there. That's going to eat up some more time.
That ball sent high into the air. And that's Braden Kalonji, who came on for Kalonji Pro Profile. He got a few minutes on Sunday, getting a couple of minutes today. And this is the next generation of this Kalonji Pro Profile squad.
They seem a hungry bunch as well. Always competing, Kalonji Pro Profile. A lot of resources they have.
Headed up by Ramos, chested down by Pachuca. Going to be fouled, no foul called. Ramos has it, coming down the near line. He's going to try to send it forward into the box. That one's over the bar, out for a goal kick. Caballero was going to go after that ball, but a secondary ball comes for him.
Good performance this evening from Pachuca, but just not good enough.
It'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time. I was close.
Not far off there, Larry.
Here's a chance by Hilton. He still has it. It's in. Right into Gillo's hands. That one will go out. It'll be a throw for Pachuca. You know, Pachuca was really looking dangerous there when it was 1-0. Now that it's 2-0, kind of just feel like some of the air has been let out of their balloon.
Yeah, I mean, they've been chasing the game kind of in the second half, but that second goal really has put the nail in the coffin a little bit.
You know, they were really strong in the first 10, 15 minutes, then kind of slowed down the rest of that the rest of that 45. Good hand by Cavillo, but it's still in play. Tomasi has it. That one knocked out.
Good defending.
Be a throw.
That's another thing, too. When you get caught up field trying to get something out of this game, you leave yourself open in the back a little bit.
That one's going to hit side netting, go out for a goal kick. Cavillo wants to take this quickly. He's going to look to go long. Good ball. Kalonji get possession. Through center circle. Back to Demise. He'll come over here to Asher Popolatsky. Go forward. Guetta gives it to Tomasi. Tomasi's going to go over to the far side. That pass is completed. Goes down, no foul.
Oh, no, that's not a penalty, come on.
Not on there.
All over the back.
And Tiente will get the foul there on Lopez. And he's going to issue the yellow card. Would he issue that one to, I believe that yellow card was issued to number 15, Braden Kalonji. So Kalonji will get one in the 92nd minute. Headed away by Kalonji. No foul on Argueta.
Don't know what he's looking for, but play goes on here.
No foul. We continue to fight. We're in the final minute of stoppage time.
Oh, nice move.
Good stop and start there. That pass just a little off the mark. Argueta with a good little pitch in the step.
Pachuca. Oh.
Long ball forward. We're at the mercy of the center official, Daniel Tomasi. He makes the turn. Shot! And it hits side netting.
I think we're about to hear the whistle here.
And we hear the cheers from the fans for Kalonji Pro Profile. Bouncing through. Kamani Irving is there. He'll clear it. Daniel Tomasi has it. He'll take a shot right into the hands. And that is going to do it. We end this match. Kalonji Pro Profile 2, Pachuca, Georgia 0. A really good battle between these two teams and a good win for Kalonji Pro Profile. This win is going to push them up to the top of the leaderboard. There is the new leaderboard as it is live.
And remember that Kalonji still have a game in hand as well. They'll make that up next Wednesday. And they also have the game coming up on the weekend against North Georgia away to Riverbend Park.
See Potros FC, they moved down to second place. Georgia Revolution, Georgia Athletic third and fourth. Georgia Athletic tied with Laminio at 18 points in fifth. Dalton, Georgia, and UMAFC, they're both right there, 17 points. Last team in the top 8, North Georgia United, just holding off Pachuca, Georgia, who fall today. SSL and FC Columbus Elite not that far away, just 2 points behind. That is the leaderboard as it stands. We take a look at the fixtures for this weekend. As the end of this one is done, you have Pachuca at home against FC Columbus Elite. Then you have Dalton United. They'll be home to FC Birmingham. Laminio, Georgia, they'll be home to Albion SC Atlanta. North Georgia United, Kalonji Pro Profile. That is going to be a critical match if Kalonji wants to see their way to the regular season title. UMAFC and Georgia Athletic, they'll compete on Sunday. SSL FC, they'll be home to Georgia Revolution. And Potros FC, they will be home to Fountain City FC. That will be week 15. We will have one more week after that. And then after that, the regular season title will be complete. And then we move on to the playoffs.
Yep, we could look for the top 8, top 4 get home field advantage there. And we also are going to be looking very hard at the relegation picture as we get these last 2 match weeks in. So it's still all to play for. Everything is not decided yet, but Kalonji gets back in the favored position right now, have the luxury of a game in hand, but they do have to take advantage and win those because Potros is going to also be competing and trying to stay with them and look for the slip up.
Well, that'll do it for us here on ASMG TV. For Andre Bomar, I've been Larry Weaver. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get not just all of our live content, but highlights, interviews, playoffs, and podcasts, and so much more. So for all of us here at Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on ASMG TV.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.